This one is a requested video by one of you. Why can't you say no? So, someone asks you for a favor, you don't want to do it, you already have your own work, you are kind of tired, your plate is already full, you have your own schedule, but before you have even thought about it, you hear yourself saying, "Yeah, sure." Happened with you? It has happened with me too many times when I was young, like all of you. Okay? So the conversation basically finishes. You walk away. And within 30 seconds of this conversation, you're kind of angry with yourself, not at them, okay? Because they are asking help from you. You are angry at yourself. Why? Because you replay that conversation in your head and you ask yourself that why did I agree? मैं ऐसे भी तो बोल सकती थी. मैंने हाँ क्यों बोला? I literally did not wanted to do it. Why can't I just say no to the people? So आप ये questions अपने mind में replay करते रहते हो. And if you have ever had that conversation with yourself, this video isn't about confidence. It's about something little more deeper. ठीक है? Let's talk about it, बच्चों, because I think we all have been there. I have been there. I know you are there. And a lot of people are struggling with this one thing. So, most people think they struggle to say no because they are too nice. That's only some part of the story. Okay? The real problem starts much earlier. Okay? So, long before someone asks you for a favor, long before you become an adult, long before you even realize that what is happening with you, you let's go back to how most of us grew up, okay? So when you shared your toys, people smile. When you adjusted, you were called a good child. When you stayed quiet instead of arguing, you were praised for being respectful. So slowly, without anyone intending to, your brain actually started connecting one idea that being liked by everyone feels safe. So there is a good evidence that humans are highly motivated by social acceptance because throughout our evolution history, belonging to the group actually improved survival. And that does not mean that every decision is driven by evolution, but it helps explain that why rejection can feel surprisingly uncomfortable. So years later, when someone asks you to do something, your logical brains know the answer no. But another part of the mind actually asks a different question. What if they think I am rude? Right? So notice something here. You weren't deciding between yes and no, you were deciding between honesty and acceptance. एंड दोनों ना बहुत डिफरेंट चॉइसेस है बच्चों. ठीक है, ये थोड़ा सा बड़े हो गए ना तब समझ में आना शुरू होगा जब आप थोड़ी बुक्स पढ़ोगे एंड यू विल एक्सप्लोर द वर्ल्ड. सो have you ever noticed something strange? ठीक है, that you will spend 2 hours helping someone and still you will worry that they will think you are selfish if you refuse the next favor to them. That's because people pleasing has no finish line. ठीक है, चलता रहेगा. So your brain keeps chasing a moment where everyone approves of you. But this is the best part about growing up. कि you will realize that that moment never actually arrives. आता ही नहीं है वो, you know. So I'll tell you another pattern, okay? So you rehearse saying no in your head. I'll tell them I'm busy. I'll tell them that I cannot do this. So this time I'm going to be honest. So when the phone rings, they ask, and suddenly your entire conversation, which you were having in your head, just disappears. Why? Because saying no isn't difficult in private, it's difficult in presence of another person's disappointment. दोनों में देखो फर्क है ना. Okay, so most of us aren't actually scared of the word no. We are scared of the silence that comes after it. That awkward like pause aata hai, the change in people's expression that, oh, you will not do it. The possibility that they might think differently about us. ठीक है. So basically we are thinking too much about the consequences कि मैं मना कर दूंगा तो क्या होगा. Now I want you to do this. I want to think of last time when someone else said no to you. ठीक है. Be honest. Now tell me something, that did you stop respecting that person because उसने आपको ना बोल दिया था? Probably not, right? So आपने कोई दूसरा तरीका ढूंढा होगा. You would have adjusted and you would have just moved on, right? So it is interesting that how we give other people permission to have boundaries, but we just don't give that permission to ourselves. क्यों? Ask yourself why. So, there is another reason that this happens, because every time you say yes to something you actually don't want, your brain experiences immediate relief. अच्छा सा लगता है आपको. So, the conversation ends, the tension disappears, and the relief feels rewarding to you. So, the brain quietly learns that next time, say yes again, it gets you out of an uncomfortable situation or a moment. So, this is actually a well studied pattern in psychology, and when a behavior quickly removes discomfort, we are more likely to repeat it. Human psychology है, इसमें बहुत patterns होते हैं. The more you will read about it, the more you will come to know. So the problem is that the relief only lasts for a few seconds. So the resentment will last much longer. ठीक है. I have so many stories where I have said yes when I was supposed to say no. Okay. Now, maybe the goal isn't just to become someone who says no more often. Maybe the goal is to become someone who stops abandoning themselves, to keep maybe everyone else around them comfortable. So behind every unnecessary yes, there is a hidden cost. It usually comes out of your sleep, your time, your peace of mind, your hard work, or maybe the promises you have made to yourself. That आपने अपने आप को बोला होगा कि I will read a book, but आपने कोई काम ले लिया तो you're not able to do that. So every time when you say yes to something you never wanted to, something else silently receives your no. And most of the time, bachcho, that something is from your own life. And let me finish this video by saying this, that why are we doing this to ourselves? ठीक है. रियल लाइफ एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ. मेरी डॉटर का स्कूल था एंड इट वॉज देयर एनुअल फंक्शन. सो उसकी क्लास टीचर ने मुझे बोला कि मैम कैन यू डू दिस फॉर अस, कैन यू मेक दिस प्रॉप एंड एवरीथिंग. एंड आई एम अ पर्सन हु इज़ नॉट वेरी गुड एट आर्ट, यू नो, बट मैंने अपनी डॉटर के लिए सीखा है. एंड मुझे लगा वो एक या दो प्रॉप देगी. शी गेव मी 8 props, you know, 8 props. And my husband was posted somewhere else on course at that time, I remember. एंड डॉटर थी 5 years के आसपास की. माई सन वॉज अ ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग चाइल्ड उस टाइम पे. मैं पूरी रात उठ के मैंने वो सैशेज बनाने थे ऐसे करके कुछ बच्चों के फॉर देयर एनुअल फंक्शन. उसमें कंट्रीज़ के नाम लिखे हुए थे. So I made those 8 sachets sitting at night. I did all the work. So, you know, ऐसा नहीं है कि बच्चों आप ये गलतियाँ करते हो. मेरे जैसे लोग who are above 30, touching 40, you know, we still do that. But yes, as soon as you will grow up, you actually learn how to say no more. And yes, I'm also learning that. And I have started drawing more boundaries in my life. So don't think you are only one who is struggling. So we are in this together, and I'm with you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.